because I usually always get the notification.
Let me go to the channel. Yeah, it's there now.
Let's see upcoming.
We there.
Yeah, it's there now.
We're there. We're there.
That's on the Facebook. I mean YouTube.
Yep, it's on YouTube. Let me check the Facebook.
I usually get a new notification though.
Yep, it's on Facebook. There it is.
See, I usually get a notification of it, and I didn't get one. Just saying, I didn't. Oh, I got one on this one. Okay, cool.
That means we are officially live. Listen, for the last 5 to 8 minutes, we've been on YouTube attempting to go live,
Yes,
having a whole
indeed.
conversation with an audience that we thought was
Was
here.
it?
But here y'all go. 4 people are now watching.
Yeah, it's kind of
4
messed
people
up, but
and
we
counting.
about to get to it. That was kind of a little bit off.
It was a little bit off. But listen,
We
we
here now.
understand that it's been a very long month since you last saw us live. If you were a part of our ghost studio audience, you would know that we have a lot going on. Both my brother and myself have a whole lot going on in our busy, busy lives. And unfortunately, we had to pull back from what we do for you guys. And it's very therapeutic for us as well to take care of some real life stuff. But we're back. I'm excited. Y'all should be excited because y'all get to participate in the discussion today.
Yes, indeed. So who's here? Let us know who's here.
Say hello, put a thumbs up, hit the like button.
All right, JJ
Hey,
is in the
JJ.
building. What's going on, JJ? Good to see you. Good to see you. Maybe we can see you. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to keep this to a brief 30 minutes, but I think in this 30 minutes, we should have.
I was saying 30 minutes just in case it was just us.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you were.
No, because the guy just reflected on me. So.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk for as long as you want us to talk. How about that?
We can keep it a good one. We can get it a good one though. If anybody want to talk about it, we can get down.
I think if we get some really good conversationalists, it's going to get good.
Yeah, where you at, Experience?
Yes, we need Mitch. We need Jay Easy. We need
Mr. Simmons.
DC.
Mr. Simmons, the Experience.
We need, let's see, who else is on here with us?
Everybody. Anybody and everybody. If you get a chance, come on down and say hi. Say hi to us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you missed us, say yes. I missed everybody. I ain't gonna lie about it. I missed all y'all. You and definitely you. I really miss you.
I bet you do.
Yeah. I'm pointing at the screen. You'll feel me when I say I miss.
They hiding, huh? I would hope not.
Yeah, they coming. They gonna come on down. JJ, how you been? You got something to say on this topic here? Do you have something to say on this topic here? Strong men
are best suited to raise sons.
I think it's the truth. I do. I think it's the truth. I think strong men are best suited to raise sons. Not only their sons, but all sons.
That's right.
It takes a strong son to raise a son. You feel me? And what are y'all saying? What are y'all saying tonight?
Right.
What say you, Queen Ice?
What says me? Well, again, I would like for you to hear some of the other people's opinions on the topic first, and then we can expound on that. So when you reposted the video, you had a couple comments, one from the Experience and 2 from Shirley Simmons.
Shirley Simmons, what
And
up,
so let
family?
me go ahead and read to you the comments, and then I'll tell you how I feel about it.
Okay, let's hear it.
So the experience said, I would love to know where he got his facts. I don't disagree that some fathers raise their son well, but not all do. I also don't agree that all women raise sons the way that he is portraying. He's definitely generalizing.
Hey, that is all right. That is all right. Experience. As far as that go, we know that all men aren't gonna be there, aren't gonna be
Right.
strong. Some men are being led with a leash.
Right.
You know, some women are raising their kids with panties on. We know that. You know
Well,
what I'm saying? And we ain't saying everybody. We just
right.
saying it's a good percentage, and we seeing a whole lot of it today.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we
Exactly.
saying, and I think that might be what he's saying. But instead of just putting words in his mouth and saying that might be what he's saying, before you read the next comment, I want to play the video. Let me play the video real quick and let y'all take a look at that.
All right, let's take a look at this.
Oh, my bad. 1 second, I forgot to hit the share.
We're a little rusty, you guys, but we're going to get there.
All right. We're going to go with this.
Masculine, intellectual, emotionally stable, less likely to ever go to jail, and they become productive members of society, and they know the consequences of their actions.
That's funny.
A Jezebel, keyword Jezebel. They raise their sons to be emotional, simps, son husbands, a bunch of beta thugs that's very dangerous to society, more likely to go to jail. And they always say, oh, my son is my king. Yeah, King Ahab, a weak king. Since a lot of these baby mamas cannot emasculate the father, guess what they do? They turn the sons into a bunch of strawberry Pop-Tarts, and then they always complain about, oh, we're the most unprotected. Look at what they do to their sons, and then they complain that men want custody of their kids so that they don't pay child support. And strong fathers raise their sons to be physically fit, disciplined, masculine, intellectual, emotionally stable, less likely to ever go to jail, and they become productive members of society, and they know the consequences of their actions.
All right.
All right, guys. So,
all right.
JJ, I hope you watched the video. Let's see what your comment says. I raised my son pretty well. He never got into problems, and he is a very respectful and very humble. I think I did a pretty good job with him.
How long was his father there? How long? I know you were married. How long was his father there, JJ? If you don't mind telling us that. And how old was he when his father left, or y'all divorced or separated, or however you see it? I would like to know that. But for that, I think the guy is pretty on point when he said that strong men raise their fathers to be physically fit and so on.
Yes.
Keep them out of trouble. That's not a misnomer. That's actually something that people can, there wouldn't be any concrete facts about that, but
and there really is no disputable facts about that.
Right.
So
yeah,
I keep trying to educate you guys, the audience, because I feel that wordplay is critical, and understanding wordplay is critical in understanding the message.
Exactly.
So I said this multiple times before. Just because he's an adult male does not make him a man.
That's true.
Just because she's an adult female does not make her a woman.
A responsible man and woman.
Right. So when he's referring to strong men, he's categorized the type of man that is best needed for a young boy to grow up healthy, strong, independent, responsible, respectful.
Yes.
It takes a strong man to do that.
And he also putting it out there with the type of man that raised their kids.
That's right.
That raised their kids, even if they're in the house. If they're in the house or not in the house, the type of man that raised their kids. They are like you just said, the adult male that raises their children.
Right.
A lot of times you get adult males that don't raise their children. For whatever reason it could be. It could be the woman's fault or the man's fault, or the man's fault, woman's fault, whoever you want to put first.
Right.
But that's what he was kind of distinguishing, that
Right.
guy that raises his children,
Right.
in particular boys.
Absolutely.
Because we're seeing boys, right? One of the first things that we see these days when a woman is out here on the dating scene, she says she wants a strong man that's a good leader,
Mhm.
right? A strong man, a woman will test that strength and that leadership ability.
Mhm.
And a man who has been raised by either a weak man, no man at all, or a woman that's like the woman that they showed in the video. Now, all women ain't like that.
The adult female, because
Right.
I don't even categorize her as a woman. A woman, whether you're strong or not, you know right and wrong as a woman.
Right.
You know
And that's
that
wrong.
theoretically it is not okay to put makeup on your son.
Exactly.
It's not okay. That was an adult female. She was of age to be an adult. She was a female who had a child, and she's mistreating him by putting makeup on him that was intended for the female species.
Right. And that's one of the things that's taking place today.
Mhm.
Today, in today's society, we got a whole bunch of people, society itself, telling people we are educating kids, but we talking about kids, we talking about babies, and I call them a baby until they're 18, right? We are teaching kids about sexuality,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I mean, at what stage should you be learning this sexuality? I'm starting to think you should have learned it until you were in your 20s, because we starting to put different things on their shoulders that they
Right.
can't stand up to. How many young ladies can stand up to a gang of different men, not all at one time, but a gang of boys and young men coming at them in a sexual manner day after day after day after day without giving in? How many boys can take the same thing from a woman
Mhm.
or a girl
Mhm.
day after day after day, and be able to resist? It's almost impossible. And then when you start throwing in makeup and so on and so forth, it's easier for boys to get along with boys.
Right.
Now that boy throw that makeup on him, and that boy would probably ask his friend, do he look good, or is he sexy, or whatever, they ask. I don't know. But that's some of the things that could happen today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you see somebody like that lady doing that to her child, or a man not being there for his child,
Right.
you can actually literally tell that that's what happened. I had a guy tell us in the barbershop one day, this was years ago, about 12 years ago, 13 years ago. He literally said that his mother and aunts made him a homosexual.
Oh wow.
Right? He broke it down from the beginning. He said, look, one thing that I'm not going to sit here and lie about, because I said, don't tell me that you think you was born like that. He said, no. One thing I'm not going to lie about is that a baby being born into sexuality. No baby is born into sexuality.
Right.
Now you're introducing it to them when you introduce makeup. You're gonna act feminine when you got makeup on you. And the reason that you're gonna act feminine when you got makeup on you is because you're gonna replicate the people with makeup.
Right.
You're gonna emulate them. You're
Right.
gonna try to do what they do. You understand what I'm saying? So that's gonna take you into that level that you want to do what the woman do. And if you see a strong man fixing a car, changing a tire, doing different things, going out there and
Mowing the
mowing the
lawn.
lawn, cutting sawing something up, you're gonna try to do like what he do. You might come out with the same type of shirt on or whatever you do and say, "Oh, I'm like my daddy." You know what I'm saying? But if you don't get to see that, even if it's biological or not, if you don't get to see that, you're not gonna be able to do it.
Right.
Experience is good to see you. It's good to see you.
Hello, my dear.
Yeah. Let's see what JJ said. She said, one thing I never did that with my son. Now let's read this one. This is going to be an interesting comment because either I'm confused or something went wrong.
Okay.
Read that comment for me, please.
JJ says, well, I never been married and my son's father wasn't there in the most important time of my son's life. when he is growing up. He actually came into my son's life after my son turned 9 years old. He denied him and wanted me to have an abortion, but I didn't. And I raised him and did most that I'm assuming she's saying she did the most that she could as a mother
Right.
to raise her son. And no one's saying that a woman can't raise her son.
I was raised, I had my father there too early. They end up separating and divorcing by the time before I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So, but go ahead.
I mean, even in the absence of some of those critical years where a son is starting to learn his role in life as a boy growing into a man, sometimes they pick that up very early on. At 3 and 4 years old, they're starting to pick up Legos and build things, right?
Trucks.
They're playing with cars and trucks. They are playing with tools, whether it be play tools or a toolbox full of tools, a man's actual mechanical tools. They are starting to observe what they see and emulate that, as my brother said. But in the absence of that, a strong woman will always reassure her son that he is born a man, a boy. You are genetically a male. I am different from you, and it's okay to be different from each other. And as us being genetically different, here's some of the things that boys do versus here's some of the things that girls do. And there's differences, and that doesn't mean that those two paths should cross.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why you have people, kids, right? Now, today is a little bit different, and I'm not with today, but today you got where they try to take the gender out of the dolls and the toys and stuff like this. You can't take the gender out of the toys because that's what develops a person, right? Like me, I wanted an action figure, right? Even if you went with the Ken doll and the Barbie doll, I didn't per se, but even if you went, I'm just using that as an example. If you went with that, you see the man got a little broader shoulders. The woman got the body of the Barbie
shapely
got the shape
figure
of
a woman.
Yeah, and this is who you are going to be type of deal. This isn't to say the boy can have that shapely figure. He can't. It's impossible. So if you
naturally.
Right, not naturally.
His genetic makeup is built differently.
Right.
So he's going to genetically form his body in a way that his DNA says a boy should be, a male should be, similar to women. Genetically, naturally, we all develop breasts, some more than others. Who cares? But every female species on this planet has breasts. There's no doubt about that. Now, when boys start to develop breast tissue, doctors will tell you that's an abnormal trait. However, they see that more commonly, but they don't force you to accept it. You know what I mean? So they give you ways to change the child's diet so that the breast tissue doesn't develop any further than where it needs to be. However, he doesn't call it a breast. He doesn't say that milk will ever formulate out of that breast. It is extra tissue that has formulated most often from fat.
That's all it is. It's fat. And then if you do a little that strong man situation, that the video that we showed, the strong man, even if we wouldn't do that thing right there, but we would actually do it like he showed them lifting weights. It wasn't real weights, but that was weights. He was showing them what he do, his son wanted to do, and his son was trying to do, and his son was doing. This is where you had tomboys come from. When you had a girl child, probably being the oldest child or the only child, and the mother was doing motherly things, but the child wanted to get out the house, and when no other kids around, that girl went outside and watched her daddy. And a lot of them girls that went outside and watched their daddy fix on that car, that muscle car or whatever it was, she ended up being a tomboy. Not to say that she was a lesbian, but she ended up being a tomboy.
Right.
You think?
And she probably had a lot of male friends growing up because she
Yeah.
could relate to some of the things that they were doing based off of the traits and the characteristics of a male, because that's all that she knew.
Right.
Watching her father. So when she would go into the real world and see boys lifting weights, playing basketball, playing with cars and trucks, she did the same. But that doesn't mean that she was lesbian or
Mhm.
gay. That simply means that she identified with what she was familiar with.
Yeah, she was familiar with things that went on around her, and that's how a lot of the boys are going to be when they get makeup put on them. They're going to be familiar with that, and going into that, they're going to familiarize themselves with whoever else is doing that, and that's usually the mamas, the aunts, and so on and so forth. And then they end up trying to be they tend to be a little feminine, even if they aren't gay.
Right.
They be a little feminine or feminized. And when they are feminine, you know, the chances of them, you know, like it's hard to say like Little Richard, you know what I mean?
Right.
Little Richard, you know, he had kids, right?
He had a wife.
He had a wife.
He
Okay,
had
nobody
plenty
on the planet
women.
tell you, yeah. Okay,
They
nobody
said
on,
Little Richard had all kind of women flowing through his little castle.
yeah, but I mean that had to be a tough time. You know what I'm saying? Because of what he was doing. I will leave it. Go ahead. You want to look here? Peace, Mr. Mitchell.
JJ said, but I would never put makeup on my son or none of that.
That's true.
And that's something that needs to resonate not only with this female in the video, but a lot of the younger mothers unfortunately want to normalize that type of behavior, and that's just not okay.
You know what I'm seeing as normal? I'm seeing being normalized as well. And I want to play the video again for anybody who came on a little bit later, you know, who came on. Oh, that's piece two. I got to do that too, Mr. Mitchell. I want to play the video again for anybody who came on a little bit later, because what I'm seeing normalized today as well is the mother might have red hair and the son might have red hair. You know, the mother might have green hair, the son might have green hair. The mother might let the son get when she go get her hair braided, the son get his hair braided. You know what I'm saying? Where's the fatherly actions, or where is the want or desire to have the fatherly actions around? And sometimes y'all got to tell me, I might be wrong, but I see a lot of women, right? This is another section of it, but a lot of women are sabotaging their whole life right now. Now y'all can come on and argue and we can fight and do all of that, but nobody can tell me different, because I'm dealing with a lot of women right now, and all the women I haven't talked to not one in the last 2 or 3 years that have not been out here trying to sabotage themselves. Right? They see something good and they do something to mess it up. And they might see the guy that they have a baby with being strong with his son. That's not like, because I'm not into no punching him in his face, and I ain't into all of that.
Right.
But a person could be strong with their son and not be mean and malicious.
Right.
And the mamas would coddle and try to make it a real easy situation, sabotaging what the man is trying to do to raise his son to the right height. Hold on one second. I want to play this video. Jay Easy, we see you the experience. I'm about to post a link right after this video is played one more time for you, Mr.
You gotta
Mitchell.
hit the share button.
Right. Yep. Gotta do that. We gonna come back next time, bigger, better, and bigger, better, and better than ever. 1 second, y'all. I don't know how to get in the thing here.
He ain't gonna let you rewind it. You gotta let it play
Right.
out.
I'll let it play out. Give me 1 second, y'all. We're gonna get it going. We're gonna let it play now.
A lot of these baby mamas cannot emasculate the father. Guess
I'll wait. So I start.
And then they always come.
1 second, y'all. 1 second.
Fathers, they raise their sons to be physically fit, disciplined, masculine, intellectual, emotionally stable, less likely to ever go to jail, and they become productive members of society, and they know the consequences of their actions.
That's funny.
A Jezebel, keyword Jezebel. They raise their sons to be emotional, simps, son husbands, a bunch of beta thugs that's very dangerous to society, more likely to go to jail. And they always say, oh, my son is my king. Yeah, King Ahab, a weak king. Since a lot of these baby mamas cannot emasculate the father, guess what they do? They turn the sons into a bunch of strawberry Pop-Tarts, and then they always complain about, oh, we're the most unprotected. Look at what they do to their sons, and then they complain that men want custody of their kids so that they don't pay child support. And strong fathers, they raise their sons to be physically.
All right. So I love when he said a Jezebel, keyword Jezebel, right? He is specifically speaking to that type of mother, that type of woman. He's not saying that all women who have absent the father in the home or in the child's life will raise their sons to be that way. He's saying more specifically, Jezebel women raise their sons to be that way. Now, if you don't fit the category of a Jezebel, don't get offended by what he said, because it doesn't apply to you.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't apply to everybody because, like I said, from my preteen up, I was raised by my mother, and I'm not gonna say it. That was strong strength. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no punk in any kind of way. You know, the link is in the comment section too for anybody that might want to join and take part with us for the next 30-40 minutes and see what's going on. Share your situation with us.
Right.
Let us know what's happening.
Let me give you guys the definition of what a Jezebel is.
Of a Jezebel. She about to give it, y'all.
Jezebel definition
Jezebel.
by
Is it long?
the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
Go for it.
Jezebel.
Hold on.
Often not capitalized, and imprudent, shameless, or morally unrestrained woman.
Or imprudent?
An imprudent,
okay,
shameless, or morally unrestrained woman. So if that doesn't fit your description of who you are, then he's not talking about you when he's saying that this type of woman is raising her son to be very feminine. And every other word he called the little boy. Now, I don't like his choice of words when he's referring to a child. Obviously, it's not the child's fault that the mom has decided to treat him that way. However, he gave the clear type of woman that does things like that, like putting makeup on their son, or allowing their son to wear heels, or dancing very feminine. That type of a woman is called a Jezebel.
Jezebel. What y'all got to say on this one? All right, here we go. I'm gonna bring you in real quick. Mr. Mitchell, let's go. Experience, let's go. Did I bring her in? Yep.
Hey, honey.
I ain't gonna say honey, but I'm gonna say like, hey, Mr. Mitchell, this ain't to you. I'm gonna do this to the experience. Yeah, this is to you, Mr. Mitchell. Peace. Peace. Experience. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, don't be nice tonight, because next week it's gonna be hard on you.
It's
ain't
gonna be hard on me.
We ain't letting you leave. You come to the studio, you got to stay. We're gonna make you stay for a while.
I'm ready.
Do a couple pre-recorded interviews and everything.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Okay.
Yeah, that's peace. So what's going on? Talk to us, Mr. Mitchell. What you got to say? I'm asking you to talk about the fathers first.
I don't necessarily. Well, I guess that would depend on what you call a strong man. I don't think that it takes an involved man, a father.
Strong man.
You know, it has to be a father to take, to raise his kids. Now, not to take nothing away from single mothers, because some of them have done great jobs raising boys. But when you're talking about, and I disagree with the notion that a single woman raising a child can make that child gay or anything like that, or soft or anything. As a matter of fact, statistically, more children, more boys that are raised by women actually are more tough, more streetwise, and more, streetwise, because they don't have anybody. In a lot of cases, they don't have anybody to shelter them from that. Because once they get a certain age, they outgrow their mother. They get bigger, stronger. They just take off on their own. But I just think it takes an involved father. And even, I got, I got two of my brothers. They grew up in we all grew up in a two-parent household, all of us. And two of my brothers went to prison. So it's just, it's kind of hard to really put that on one person or another. I'm the most educated, but I'm not the most successful. You see what I'm saying? So,
What do you call a strong man? Because you started off by saying, depending on what you call a strong man.
that's what I said. I can't define a strong man because I don't know what they're talking about. All I say is it takes a father, an involved man. I don't believe in that strong man, weak man, because I know people get caught up in alpha males and beta males and all that nonsense. But when it comes to raising a child, I don't think that that's actually important. I think that it just takes an involved father to raise a son, to help raise a son.
Can a man not have children and still be a father?
Yes.
Okay, that's a strong man. All right.
If he chooses that road, yes, he can.
So that we're gonna categorize that as a stronger man then.
Okay, well, yeah, in that case, then
Somebody that's stepping up, taking accountability and responsibility for what he's gotten himself into.
right.
So for you to say that an involved father is the type of father that raises a strong boy or is ideal for a boy, I've seen a lot of involved fathers that have
Weak.
been very abusive,
Weak.
very mentally abusive, physically abusive to some of these kids, boys and girls. So, and they're very involved, whether they're living in or not,
Or very
whether
passive.
right. So
Right. I mean, there are exceptions. There are exceptions to every rule. You can't you can't just take. You can't just. I mean, you can't lump everybody into one category. There's going to be exceptions to everything. I don't. Me, I raised two boys and a girl. They're all productive citizens. I raised three children. Two were boys and one was a girl. And I don't. I can't really. It's hard to kind of lump all of that into one category.
well, I think you kind of can though. Like when I think about a strong man, I can't think of any negative attributes that would be harmful to him being involved in his child's life. So think about that. Like he's a strong man.
Nope.
What's harmful about that? What can you say is the exception to the rule of being a strong man that would be detrimental to a child's upbringing?
No. That's not what I meant. I didn't mean there was an exception to being a strong man. What I meant was when I said an involved father, you said that. I said it take an involved father. You said that there were some involved fathers that were abusive and stuff like that. That's the exception I was talking about, not the exception to a strong man.
I got one though that could be one exception to it.
To a strong man?
Yeah.
I'd like to hear it.
And then we're gonna let you add on Dream. My one exception to a strong man that could be a negative in a child's life that he's very involved in is working a lot and not having a lot of time, even though because he can be involved heavily, but he could be using a lot of his time to provide. You know what I'm saying? So some guys, let's say like in the construction field, somebody that works on doing concrete and so on and so forth, they might work 12, 16 hours a day, right? But they still try to put in an hour or two with their child. You know what I'm saying? So the one that could, and I'm not certain on it, but it's kind of like a tough toss. It's a thin line if that could be you know what I'm saying? I'm not certain.
Well, that's me in a nutshell. I
No.
still work 12-hour shifts right now.
Right.
So, and I always have. So,
I'm
Now
just saying
listen.
that could possibly be one.
I could see your point of view in it, but
Yeah.
to me, a strong man that's very involved in his children's lives, that still finds time for
To do it,
them,
yeah.
that child is going to value every hour, every minute that they have. So even that type of strong man that's working 12, 14, 16 hours a day
Mhm.
is going to be more valued in that
Could be.
structure
Yeah. Because
than a man that is home more often.
see,
And the reason I say that is because now he's setting the example. The child is now watching. My dad is never home, but guess what? When he is home, he's making time for me. And my dad isn't ever home because he's out working, making a living, and supporting the household and the family.
What makes the strength a negative?
I can't find a negative in
So,
a strong man.
What makes the strength a negative? And we're gonna let you
see,
jump in.
here was my day when my
1 second. What makes the strength a negative is the woman. If the woman says no, seriously, not check it out now.
I'm checking.
Because a lot of women say you need to be here more, even though they are providing and they are going out for the family, and they might only work 8 months out the year. A lot of women say you need to be here more, and that's the woman might speak the negative to that positive.
But if he's a strong man, nobody can shake him.
No, but I'm
not
not
even
talking
the
about
woman
him.
in his
It's
life.
the kid. See what I'm
And
saying? And so I'm just saying it could be the one portion of a negative that go on. Now, if you got a strong woman, if the king is doing what he do and the queen is there, if she a queen and she could actually hold that title, then it won't be a negative.
She'll never speak negativity into her marital home or her shared home with her husband, because
not the queen.
Right, not
what
the queen.
Did you say? The adult female.
Right. An adult female might
do that.
Might more
and that's
often
when
than not.
That's when I think it could become the one piece of a negative. I'm not saying it is, but it could be. It's a thin line there. Dream, what you got to say? Wait, hold on 1 second. Mr. Mitchell, you had something to say off of that real quick before?
No, I was just going to say a minute ago, it kind of goes into what y'all were talking about. And I was going to say, just a day in my life when my children were growing up, I went to work at 5 in the morning. I would get off about 4:35 in the evening. But I only get out to get them to their various practices or whatever. I actually coached them too. You know what I'm saying? I coached them during all 3 youth sports. I didn't quit coaching them until they got to schools where they had, school where they played for the school. And I was at every event. I supported them in everything they did. My daughter ran track. Sometimes I would go drop her off the track, go practice the boys, go back and pick her up. That was just, part of it. Especially because at one point in time, my ex-wife, she worked at night. So it was on me to cook and everything. So
that right there is nothing but strength, though. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing but strength. So you basically defining a strong man, because it takes a strong man to be able to do 1, then 2, then 3, and then that you did. That was
right.
Great job.
Right.
That's why I said it kind of went into what y'all were talking about when in the little segment y'all had right there. It kind of just fell into that.
Okay, that's peace. What about you, Dream? What you got to say? I know you got something to say. Say it.
So
hurry up, because you get up here, it's gonna be on. I can't wait to see you come.
I'll be there next week. I'm in NYC this week.
Oh, you in NY right now?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm in the NY right now.
Okay.
I'll be up there with y'all next week. But what I have to say about this, so y'all know I have 5 kids and 3 boys. And so the first thing I want to talk about is just that kind of use of the word strong man. It could mean different things for different people. And so when you ask what's a negative for a strong man, one of the negatives that I've experienced is sometimes strong is correlated with a lot of toxic masculinity. So a man could be an alpha male, he could be strong, he could be good, but the way he was raised included some toxic masculinity. And that is the one negative that I've seen and experienced with a strong man. Because what I know about having multiple children is they could all come from the same parent raised in the same household, but each child is still different.
Yep.
And part of strength is understanding that what may work for one may not work for the other.
Right.
And you want
Exactly.
you want to be very conscious, and you want to be very sure that your methods of teaching them to be strong is not breaking them.
Experience.
Yeah.
You know, if you didn't live in another state, you'll be my lady, right? Because did you? I gotta pull your toe every time. Did you not hear Queen Ice say that? Not the mental abuse,
No. I mean, and some they don't see it as mental abuse.
but it could be. It is,
They
right?
see it.
Right?
They see it as making their son strong.
Yeah, right.
They don't see it as mental abuse, and that is where the negative could come in. Because I have 3 sons, and I will say my middle son is the most emotionally in touch with his feelings, but he is also the active one. He's the one you would consider strong. He's the one who plays sports. He's the one who is the protector. He has all of the great qualities. Matter of fact, the boy just turned 22. He's in the military. He's married. He's expecting a baby. He got a house. He got a car. He got 2 dogs. I mean, he's doing all of the things that a strong man would do. But because he is emotionally sensitive, it was certain ways that I used to disagree with my ex about how he disciplined him, how he spoke to him. And so it was necessary, in my opinion, to have that counterbalance between the strength of the male and the sensitivity of the female, to say, this boy was just naturally born like this. So you have to allow him to express his feelings. You can't tell him to shut up. You can't tell him boys don't cry. You can't tell him certain things that's going to change who he is as a person. You have to teach him how to work with what he was naturally born with, so that those things become strengths instead of weaknesses.
Definitely. I'm with you on that one.
And then I have
somebody.
I have the other two. The other 2 sons is kind of like, they're strong in their own right too, but they're not as emotionally sensitive. So they're not gonna take a harsh word to heart, right? It's just, oh, that's how daddy is. It ain't nothing. They're gonna let it roll off their back like water off a duck. It's not gonna penetrate. It's not gonna change how they think and feel about themselves. So it's important to, even if you're a strong man and you're teaching your children how to be strong, it's important to understand that they're all different, and what works for one doesn't necessarily work for others. And to be a strong man, to me, also means being emotionally intelligent enough to be able to make that distinction.
Was your ex
That's a good point.
I was going to ask that.
Huh?
Was your
Would you categorize your ex, your children's father, as a strong man?
I would characterize him as a strong man, but I would also characterize him as a strong man with some toxic masculinity, and I would characterize him as a strong man who's not always the most emotionally intelligent.
what is a strong man
Um,
to you?
to me, a strong man. So to reference my ex, his principles or his guiding values are freedom, family, and faith, right? So he's a strong man because he will do anything to protect those values. He will do anything to strengthen those values, to let his family know that they are important to him. He's strong because he's not easily swayed when he has his mind made up about a thing. He's gonna stand on that no matter what it costs. He's gonna stand on that. He's a strong man because he's a protector. He's a strong man because he's not all emotionally unintelligent, and the parts of him that work, the parts of him that are emotionally intelligent, he's a strong man because he can come in and support his children, and in my case his ex, in a lot of areas that made us better people.
So I got one more question. You said you keep saying X, right? So that means you're single. Are you still single?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So if you were looking for a strong man right now, what would you be looking for? That's the question, because I was trying not to. I wanted this to be an open, general question.
At this stage in my life where I'm not looking for a father for my children.
Well, you're looking for. I mean, what's a strong man though? Because sometimes if you meet up with a guy right now, right? Okay, you and me got together, right? Your kids are still your kids, and your kids might get married. Their father is going to talk to them, but if I'm around, I'm going to talk to them too. I'm not going to be around and not be able to talk to them about
Right.
that marriage that they're about, their journey they're about to partake, right? So this is somebody that's going to be in your whole world, and you're going to be in their world. You're going to be talking to my kids too if you were part of that world, right? So what's a strong man when you consider that somebody that you want to relate to or relate with?
And invite into your family.
In your world, yeah.
So he has to be sure of who he is, especially at this stage of life where anybody I'm dating at this point is in my age range. So they should have had enough life experience at this point to know who they are and stand on that. I don't like a man. So this is funny you asking this, because there was a guy who was trying to talk to me, right? And it's funny the small things that will turn you off. In most ways, he's a good man, he's a strong man, but in our conversations, he would often say stuff like, "Oh, I was talking to my sister and she said, I was talking to my father and he said, and I was talking to my this one and they said," and whatever their opinion is on a thing would sway his opinion or his thought. And that just turned me off something horrible, because it's like, do you think for yourself? Do you stand on what you believe? Do you believe anything? What do you believe? And it was very subtle, but it was really important that, because to me, if anybody could come in and sway your opinion of yourself, then you don't have a strong opinion of who you are. And I can't really rock with that because I can't depend on you to be stellar. I can't depend on you to be my rock if you always swaying.
Right.
It was weirdly subtle. And had you asked me that before I had that experience, I probably wouldn't even thought to say that. But because I had that experience with him, I was like, pardon my language, I was like, those are very bitch qualities.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Virgin ears, baby. Virgin ears.
They were very much,
I feel her on that.
very much like, ooh.
You know what though? Let me say this real quick, and maybe you can jump in. But I like you said about the guys, right? So a lot of times we get on these lives and we all go back and forth, and it's a debate, and it's this and that, right? And one of the things that I like to do, and I go with, like, even outside of the lives, I have discussions in the barbershop and so on. I'm there all day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard. I'm going to just keep this funky with you. It's hard for somebody to defeat what I'm saying because I'm coming with facts. I'm coming with truths, right? Even if you don't like it, it is the truth and you can go research it. But a lot of times, the reason I'm able to be undefeated in a discussion or debate, and I know y'all are well versed, right? Mr. Mitchell, the Dream, Queen Ice, Jay Easy, and JJ, everybody, Mr. Simmons, yeah, we all versed, right? But a lot of people don't do their own research, and that's the reason why they not getting their opinion swayed. They're getting guided. They're getting completely guided. It's not a swaying of opinion because they don't have an opinion. They're going off of what somebody else went off of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you one big person that used to do that, right? Before our time, one big person that used to do that, and I still to this day question his intelligence. Don't beat me up.
Jesse.
Malcolm X.
Ooh.
He always did that. Yeah. If you ever listen to him speak, he said, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said,
you're right.
and so on and so forth, right? And that's the only thing. Like you would know Dream differently, especially being around the Nation of Gods and Earths. We do our own research. We don't go off of what Queen Ice said, the Dream said, Mr. Mitchell said. You could say it, and I'm gonna go do my research on it, and we can build on it. But that guy who you was talking about, he was weak. He wasn't a strong man. He was a weak individual. And you need to run from anybody that's like that.
I ran.
Because
I ran.
I wouldn't even say it's bitch qualities. I would say it's something even weaker than that. Because
I don't know what's weaker than being a bitch.
Yeah, it's got to be something weaker because it's at least the bitch got some attitude. You know what I'm saying? And she know why she got an attitude.
Much to have attitude.
But she know why she got
attitude. Just means you're mad. You're mad about everything.
But she know why she got attitude, or that person knows why they got attitude. The guy like you that you spoke of, my brother, my sister said this, my daddy said this, my so and so. Well, what do you say?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You don't say anything because you don't know anything, and I persuade anybody to stay away from them type of individuals, who don't do any research. Even if, like I said, Queen Ice might say something, I might not like it, but if it's the truth, I can't help it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if she say, well, Mr. Mitchell said this, and Queen and the Dream said this, now so it's got to be real?
Right.
No, that's wrong. So that's weakness. That's weakness at its finest point. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I say. Mr. Mitchell, you was about to say something?
I want to make one more point before you move on. So to your point about Malcolm X, I will say that he did say everything the same way you said it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us. But I know that for Nation of Islam Muslims, that is the way they're taught to speak. So he was not supposed to be speaking on his own behalf. He was supposed to be speaking the teachings of the nation. And what I will say is the transformation was definitely happening before his assassination, because what I feel like, knowing what I know about his story, is that the principles weren't necessarily wrong. What I think he realized going towards the end of his life is that even when you get gems from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, if the word and the character are not in alignment, then you can no longer quote this
Didn't
man
believe that.
as the standard.
Didn't believe that.
And so I
Unless
feel
you believe more in the man
like
marrying the two together.
He didn't believe it at all.
it's integrity. We talked about this before. Having integrity, what you think, what you say, what you feel, and what you do all have to be in alignment. And I believe he was wholeheartedly all in, believing that the things that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was telling him were 100% above board, true to principle, and good for consumption. But when Elijah Muhammad came up on his own scandal, giving them rules about who they could date and how old that person should be, to then find out that he fathered a bunch of children with very young women, now you're not in alignment with what you teach. So now I can't go and spout you as the source of this good consumption, and knowing that you don't even honor what you say.
Right. That's peace. I love that. I love that
Feel like
dream.
towards the end of his life, he was making that. He consciously made that choice to understand his Hajj when he went to Mecca and Medina, and he met Muslims from all over the world, and he realized, wow, it's a lot of bitch qualities going on in the nation.
Let me show you something. And we're not going to veer so far off track. I love Elijah Muhammad, right?
Mhm.
But one thing, when Elijah Muhammad said it and he wrote it, we supposed to we go do the research. Now, I'm not a parrot at all. I'm not going to be a bird. I'm not going to just repeat what you said, which is what Malcolm did. And we'll get to you in a second, Jay Easy. But here's the one thing that Malcolm did, right? This is the reason why I love Malcolm too, but I don't like him. I love him, but I don't like him. It's easy to do that, right? Because I love who he showed he was, how intelligent he showed he could be, but I don't like him. Reason I don't like him is he spoke about Elijah Muhammad messing with them young girls and fathering them babies, right? Yeah. He didn't speak about them until he couldn't get back into the mosque. He wrote many letters. So I question, would we ever have heard about those babies or them young girls, the 15-year-olds and so on and so forth, if he would have got back into the mosque? Would he have been the man that stood up, like you just said, if he would have got back into the mosque? Because he would have kept it a secret. He would have kept quiet. So now I got to wonder, was Malcolm X the man that at the end of his life, like you said, that stood tall on his own too? Or did he stand tall on his own too because he couldn't get back in the house? You know, when a child can't get back in the house, they tend to talk crazy about their parents. Their parents didn't do nothing but show them love. But you start talking crazy about them, so now you telling the secrets once you can't get back in. But if you could have got back in, do you still tell those secrets? That's my only question. And we know that
No.
right. And that's the cold part, because we know he tried to get back in. And when he found out he wasn't getting back in, that's when the secrets came out. That's deep. So I just leave that to marinate. Jay Easy, what do you say about this subject? As far as the father, what's a strong
Okay,
man?
wait, one last thing, and then I promise I'm done. Just to turn it back to the original video. Again, with my experience, I don't have a lot of experience with men in my cipher, but I had one specific experience with a little boy who was born to a mother and an alpha father. And we saw effeminate traits in this baby. He's 34 years old now, but as a baby, I mean, in a pamper, walking around, clicking in his mother's heels with a purse on his arm, and his father would lose his mind. Like, he definitely had an alpha daddy, and his father would lose his mind. And for me, I always said, I don't know if children are born gay or if they are made gay. But what I said to myself then was, if this boy grows up to be gay, then I will have my own experience to say nobody turned him gay. He was displaying those effeminate characteristics
Nah.
from that high.
No.
He definitely was.
I'm gonna argue that point.
I know you will.
Yeah,
I know you will. But this is one that I've seen with my own eyes, and I don't mean every gay man is like that. But this particular one, his father would have did anything for him not to be effeminate.
It was too late.
It wasn't too late. This boy came out like that.
Let me tell you something. See, you gave up information in that story. You gave up information, Dream, right? Dream.
I'm listening.
You said he was walking around with his mother heels in her purse. He had to see those as an action. He had to see those. Nobody sees a purse and knows what a purse is. No baby knows what a purse is or what it's for. No baby knows to put shoes on their feet, right? No baby knows that. So they had to see it, right, before doing it. So once you see it, you do it. And that's when I say it's too late, because the father let that be seen from the mama to the baby
without correction,
and then do it. So because can you tell us that somebody would have knew what a purse is? A baby would know to go put a purse.
No, here's the distinction. This boy is a middle child, an older brother and a younger sister, right? So you got a mother, so you're gonna see your mother dress up, you're gonna see your mother carry a purse, you're gonna see your mother wear makeup. For a boy, none of my sons ever clicked around in my heels, and I've been wearing heels their whole life. None of them ever did it. Not that my husband at the time would have allowed it, but none of them ever naturally wanted to do. They already had a natural distinction between what was for boys and what was for girls.
How old was his baby? How old was that baby?
The baby in your story.
Baby was 2 years old, walking around in pamper. That's what I'm telling you. He had and this was the thing. He would rather play with his sister's dolls as opposed to his brother's baseball.
How old was his brother?
If he's 34, his brother is 37. So his oldest brother is 3 years older than him.
How old is his sister?
His sister is 2 years younger than him.
So who he was probably with the most?
Both of them. They all were together.
Cause see,
sister 2 years younger. So when he was 2, the sister wasn't even born.
So check it out. So the brother is 3 years older, right?
And the brother is all boy.
By the time the 34-year-old was old enough to walk around, the brother was probably in school, where he probably was by himself for a minute with his mama and then with his sister.
I'm not buying that, because you got
but it's a highly strong possibility though.
Would you buy
it? Possibility though.
No, I'm not buying what you're selling.
Would you buy
it? Based on her story, he was 2 years old long before the baby girl came along. 2 years old in a pamper, walking around with heels on. The little girl had no influence on that decision.
Where did he get the walk around?
He definitely.
What 2-year-old put heels on his foot?
He definitely got it.
2-year-old girls do it all the time.
Oh,
but they do it based on what they see.
Yeah, come on now.
Right. So why
they do it based on what they see?
Why didn't he gravitate to playing with his brother, who's 3 years older, and doing the things he saw his brother doing?
Oftentimes older brothers have a jealous streak against the younger brother.
and the boy was.
Well, I don't know that to be the
So
case.
he could have shunned the older brother. Could have been like, nah, leave me alone, go away. I don't want you playing with me.
I
It
don't
could
know
have been
that.
on that type of issue.
I don't know that to be the case in this. And he had the alpha daddy who used to flip anytime he saw him doing anything effeminate.
It took too long to flip. Did he? Did he?
At 2,
Did he? No, I talk about the daddy took too long to flip. Yeah, he took too long because he
at
probably
2,
he
no,
probably
you said
didn't
you
get-
don't. Those are not for you. Those are for ladies. Those are for girls. That's for
father
girls.
worked.
That constant. That's
the
for
father
girls.
worked.
Getting upset with him because he naturally gravitated to things that were for girls instead of things that were for boys.
Did the father work?
His father hustled.
Was he in the house? I mean, did he hustle?
Yeah,
When you hustle, you usually outside for a long time.
but you come home. You
Okay.
home.
Uh-huh.
You home.
Hey, is the boy gay?
Very gay.
Okay. That's the problem right there.
What I'm saying is in that experience, so different from the video, because his mother was not out there condoning that behavior. She was not putting makeup on him. She was not celebrating. As a matter of fact, it took his mother until he was 17 to finally just say, he's my son and I gotta love him regardless. But up till 17, it was always a source of conflict. It was a big part of the reason why her and his father broke up, because that was a lot of the cause of the stress. But all the way up till 17, she was on his back about not being that way. And it was finally at 17 where he was just like, take it or leave it. This is who I am. And her as a mother is saying, that's my child. I can't throw him away because he ain't who I want him to be. I have to love him for who he is. And so now she is 100% for him being whoever he is. But for me, it was an exercise in, oh, wow, I didn't think that people could be born that way. But for me, it was my experience to actually see, because I knew him since he was born and I saw the progression with my own eyes. I saw the challenges that it caused in their household, in their marriage, and ultimately their demise. And I saw who he ended up being. And he's a good dude. He got a good heart. There ain't nothing wrong with him as a man. He just gay. And dance his ass off. So, that's all I wanted to contribute.
All right, yeah, we loved it. Okay. I like that. That's peace. What about you, Jay Easy?
I mean, I feel like it's not just the strong father, it's about the leadership of the household, because if the father's not present, if the mother has a strong leadership and a strong set of core values within herself, she's gonna raise that young man to be a righteous young man. You know, at the end of the day, you got fathers in the kid's life, and they could be the strongest man in the world, but they might overcast some initial mental what's the word I'm looking for? Mental stress onto that child that make that child act a certain way that the father don't act. You know, that child may wind up drinking because of the way the father treated him. You know, it do take a strong man to raise a man. It does. But at the same time, a strong woman can get the job done too.
Mm-hmm. That's what we said too. That's peace. That's peace.
Can a gay man be a strong man?
I'm not answering that.
I think it automatically.
I'm already on restriction.
I think it automatically makes a man weaker to be gay. You know, for one, and I, you know, I might be, don't kill the messenger here, but for one, you running from women.
You're in an identity crisis.
Yeah, you an identity. You running from women. You know what I'm saying?
But so many gay men have so many female relationships, just not sexual.
Let me ask this, right? This is strictly black here, right?
Right.
Now, this is a strictly black question, right? Can it is do a lot of black women, right, look at black men that deal with white women as weaker because they trying to deal with a white woman instead of a black woman?
I'm gonna be honest. Yes, the majority of black women look at black men who primarily date white women as a weaker male species
because he don't want to deal with what some label a black woman. And I mean that I'm just asking that question because
you sitting right next to the product of an interracial relationship. Tina, do you consider your black father weaker because he chose to be with a white woman?
She's answering.
So you don't think that he could handle being with a black woman?
Absolutely not. And being the byproduct of said relationship, I can tell you that even after my mother and my father, biological father, divorced, he moved on to marry another white woman. Now, historically, and I've had many conversations with many of his biological siblings and family members who says that he has really never dated a black girl because he had one bad experience with a black girl in elementary school, and that turned him off. Turned him completely off to black girls. So
somebody got shot down at the playground.
Absolutely.
That's crazy, because then every black woman is in the same category. Because y'all know every black woman ain't the same, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Right. But see, to him, you got to think that impacted his childhood, which affected his mental stability growing up. He saw strong black women. He had a strong black mother. He had sisters that were very strong black women. However, dealing with that trauma turned him completely around. Had he not had that, maybe we'd be having a different conversation. But
that's what it was.
That's what it was.
And to your question, experience, you said y'all know that all black women aren't the same, right? I'll say it like this: I think all women are the same. I think all women are the same. It's the man. Don't beat me up, Mr. Mitchell and Jay Easy, but I think it's the man that's the weak one or the strong one. The woman is only going to test you to see if you are that leader that she desires. You know what I'm saying? Overall, the man is going to show himself to be weak and need a leader, or strong to be a good leader. Now, you got, like what you said, some of that abusive stuff. We ain't talking about that part of it.
Right.
In general, I think all women are the same, black, white, or Asian, or whatever they are. I think they are the same, depending on if they got a good leader or a bad leader. You know what I'm saying? A weak man or a strong man. And if the man is strong, he going to have the same results with the black woman or the white woman. And the man is weak, he going to have the same results with the black woman or the white. I done heard white women call black men nigger. You know what I'm saying? And that's the ultimate in weakness to me. You know what I'm saying?
So what credence do we give to people just having preferences?
I feel like it's okay to have a preference, and especially growing up, you start to develop those preferences. Case in point, my father, like, he had this experience with this little black girl who traumatized him to the point where he developed a different type of preference of woman. Now, that isn't to say that other races can't potentially evolve into a very beautiful, long-lasting, lifelong relationship. It happens. It happens. But I think ideally a black woman gravitates to a black man before she does a white man.
Yeah.
or Hispanic man. There's just so many
So
commonalities in the way that we are brought up. Like you were raised in Brooklyn, I was raised in Milwaukee. You were raised
primarily in Milwaukee, part of Jersey.
so, but we can find a lot of commonalities
Mhm.
in the way that we were brought up because we were brought up in primarily Black households.
Yeah. And one of the things too, though, I want to say too, Dream and Queen and y'all too, I want to say, like, my question was the thought process of a Black woman when she sees a Black man with a white woman, not if he is weak or strong, but do you think, or do the majority of Black women think a Black man that's dealing with a white woman is weak? You know what I'm saying? Then because he's trying to run from the Black woman that might buck up or give him the problem, or want some strong leadership. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's almost, no disrespect to the female woman, to the female, but a lot of like horses, right? They'll buck until they know that you can handle them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to
And
be there calm in order for them
Yeah.
to be comfortable
children,
enough.
children are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Men, like I'm gonna do a whole lot of stuff to see where it's gonna go with the woman. You know what I'm saying? If she here with me in the house, I'm gonna test that all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Testing
And
happens on both forefronts. Though.
exactly. Yeah, you're gonna do that. And it's not to be a mean test or a bad test, but in the beginning at least, I'm gonna see what's going on. What can she handle? She gonna see what can I handle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then when we get right by that edge, don't stick your toe over it because it can get messed up. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole question was about the thought process of the Black woman when she sees that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
some do. I have not. I saw this week that
Do you?
pictures went out on social media of LeBron James' son prom
Yeah.
and him with the white girl, and all in the comments I kept seeing people say run and why and all of these things. I don't necessarily think anything when I see a Black man with a white woman, vice versa, whatever. As long as it's not my man, I don't care.
I thought something about that one, about that situation, because when we're looking at that level, right? When you're talking about LeBron's son, right, and this guy that's highly touted to be a next NBA star coming up, a lot of white women. If y'all ever seen the movie, it might have been Blue Chips or one of them type of movies back in the
it was
days.
over Mekhi Phifer.
No, not the Mekhi Phifer one. Remember, it was one where it was like almost an all white cast. Remember, and what they did was a football movie, and the quarterback got injured. The backup quarterback
Varsity Blues.
Who?
Varsity Blues.
That must have been Varsity Blues. So the quarterback got injured. It's an all white cast almost. The main quarterback got injured. The other quarterback had to take over, the backup quarterback. So the main quarterback's girlfriend, she went to try to deal with the backup quarterback, right? And he was like, I don't want nothing to do with you. And she was like, man, I'm just trying to get up out this town. And when you see that, you look at like the white girl with Bronny, right? She just trying to get up out that town. And what that means is she trying to get into his bank account. His daddy is a legend. These cats are mega millionaires, and this is where you got to start looking like, well, why not? Why not? Your mama is Black. You understand what I'm saying? You around Black people. We cannot say that you only seen white girls. It's this. I can see like Tiger Woods. He mainly seen white girls. We know for a fact that this cat didn't only see white girls. So that's a difference.
But you also have to understand that the Black girls that he grew up around were probably atypical of the common everyday Black girl.
Candace Owens.
Because you have to exactly. That's the Black girl he sees on a daily basis.
What did he say?
The Candace Owens of the world. He doesn't see typical Black girl. He's of privilege. He goes to school. His neighbors, anyone that may be of color, potentially are not the pool of Black girl that he would more likely choose.
So, but
Don't
the
nobody
white
want to
girl
date no goddamn Candace Owens.
So
Oh my God.
And what about the black girl that he would potentially be attracted to, wanting him for his come up? Because what chick right now, if they came home and said, "Ooh, I don't even know his name, but they keep calling him Bronny, so I'll say Bronny." That's the name, Bronny. Okay. What black girl right now, if she went home to her family and say, "Ooh, I just met Bronny and he asked me out," what are the people around her in her family gonna say? Girl, you better get that. You know what he, girl.
The same thing them girls
Right, grab that. So they could still be after his money too.
Let me say this though, Dream. Let me ask this question, right? You his mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
He tells you that he's going on a date with a white girl. First thing you say.
I got that real life issue. My black daughter is married
whoa, 1 second.
And my black son is married to a Mexican.
No. I'm not talking about your black son and your black daughter. I'm talking about Bronny.
If Bronny
was your son, and he told you he was going on a date with a white girl, first we'll start with the white girl and then we'll go to the black girl. What would you say?
I would ask him, what does he like about her? That would be my first question to him. What do you like about her? Why do you like her? And he would definitely have to give me something of substance for me to be like, okay. But my question gonna be the same with the black girl. Ma, I want to take this girl to prom. What do you like about her?
What would yours be? Same thing?
Absolutely. I raised my kids a little bit different, right? I want them to choose who they feel they're most comfortable with.
Not your kids. We talking about
so
Bronny
if Bronny
still.
were my son,
yes,
knowing that he has a famous father, I would also question the motive behind it. But I would certainly ask him, what is it you like about this girl?
Okay, that's pretty.
I've always told my kids, if you don't want me to question you about her, don't bring her around me.
All right.
Because I'm going to question everything walking through that door. Oh, that's your friend? Where do you live? Who's your mom? Does she know you're here?
Okay. That's peace. Mr. Mitchell, what would you say?
I would have similar questions, but more than anything, instead of questioning my son as to why he chose that person, I would try to teach him to make sure he protects himself from what's out there. Because you have people, when you're somebody of that stature, you're a walking target.
Boom.
So you have to make sure that you take care of yourself.
Approach.
But you know what? That's
too passive of an approach. So you mean to tell me
not necessarily.
From a white girl, and you're just like, son, just be careful. It's going in this ear and out the other.
No. They don't be careful.
It's not necessary. It's how you. It's how you make the approach. It's not the actual approach. It's what's said.
If you force him to explain himself, now he has to think of a rational thought and make it make sense to me in order for me to buy into it.
I got that too. What'd you say, Jay Easy?
It's how you. It's what you say when you make the approach. It's not the initial approach. You're not being passive if your questions are right, because you can say exactly what you said, but how he said what he's saying. All the questions. First of all, I'm gonna tell my son to strap up. If you ain't got none, go stop at Walgreens, stop at CVS.
In this ear, out the other. He don't care.
But hold on, because at the end of the day, like everybody just stated, this man has a stature. This man is mega millions. He's a target. So the strap.
Jay Easy. Let's take that you said strap up. As a mom who has sons, if Bronny was my son, I would ask him if he has a condom and follow up by saying, prove it to me. I need to see it.
That's the mother's approach.
I'm not telling them to strap up. I'm telling him, do you have it? And let me see it. I'm going to make you prove it.
Hey, so me, what I would say to the boy, right? I'd be like, look here, son. Have you heard of this guy? Have you heard of this guy? Have you heard of this guy? And more than likely, he gonna say no, right? And I'm gonna say this is the one who the girl said raped him, raped her.
Yeah, that's all I was trying to say.
Yeah, at Ohio State. This
Mhm.
is the one. This is what
Kobe.
Mr. Mitchell and Jay Easy was saying too. The one at
Kobe.
Wisconsin, the Badgers. Remember the
Oh,
wide
yeah.
receiver.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
There you go. All of those guys. Yep. There you go. All of those guys. These are these guys right here that got false accusations from these white girls because
Emmett Till.
sex with them, and then they didn't want to be with them in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? And you can't really get away from them accusations. Once they're there, it's over. You know, very few.
See, the one thing is, man, is that I too am the byproduct of a biracial relationship. My mother's from Mexico, so but I've always pretty much dated black women exclusively. You know, and so if one of my children dated, which my oldest son, I have a biracial granddaughter. You know, she has a white mother, and I just try to teach. You can't tell nobody who to love. You know, you just teach them. Like my children know the difference in the culture. They know the difference in privileges. They know all that. So, but if you choose to like that person, make sure that you don't put yourself in danger. Know who you're dealing with.
Force them
Protect
to have
yourself.
open dialogue about that like, lust, love.
But we 1 second. There's a difference between me talking about my son and us talk because experience brought up Bronny. Bronny is a total different. He got.
Yeah, but see that. But I understand what you're saying about Bronny, but the one thing that they have to remember that everybody has to remember is that LeBron James has that money. Bronny don't have shit yet. He got some NIL deals, I think, something like 7 or 8 NIL deals, which don't scratch the surface of what LeBron has.
No, but what?
So Bronny is 18 years old, and he's gonna be on the hook for whatever bad decision he makes.
What do Bronny got though?
Bronny do got his own money.
What do Bronny got?
That's what I say, but the money Bronny got don't touch the surface of what LeBron got.
Okay,
And that's true.
let me ask this: outside of the money
But Bronny's gonna be on the hook for that though.
but wait a minute, outside of the money that Bronny got, right? What do he have?
Status.
He has
Potential.
He has. There you go. That potential. That future. That's why the cat from
Right.
That's why the cat from Wisconsin. That's why the cat from the other school. They all went down because of that. Because of their future, their potential. That's what they
Right.
got. And so
But you would have that conversation about you got a son with potential. You would have that conversation
With any
with
sign.
any race of chick.
no, but
Yeah.
Because look
Exactly.
but historically, the race.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You would have that. That's why I said I got a biracial granddaughter. So we did have that.
When you're talking about money, we talking about LeBron James got $1 billion deal.
But that's his money.
But the son, hold on. So knowing what they're talking about with the son already, they've been talking about the son for about 5 or 6 years. The son only 17 now or 18 now. They've been talking about him for 5 or 6 years.
Right.
Talking about his potential being greater than LeBron's potential. If it is, it's a different story. But the potential that they've been talking about since this boy was in middle school has been greater than LeBron's. Remember, they was talking about LeBron in middle school.
But I hear that, and what I'm saying is, if this kid has the potential to be greater than his father, no matter any female he encounters, that conversation should be had. Black, white, Hispanic, it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
Although historically, white women have done this to black men, claiming rape and etc. It's not to say that black women, Hispanic women, Asian women don't do it as well. You just don't hear about it.
Yeah, but we don't like this. Okay, so check this out. Here go the code.
Tupac. We heard about Tupac.
Black.
We heard about Kobe, and that chick knew Kobe had a chick when she did it.
Look at the girl that claimed Tupac raped her.
Look at the
Well, that's
girl
a whole
who
nother
went
story.
to Duke and slept with the whole
Lacrosse team.
lacrosse team.
She was a dancer, and they was having a party, and them guys raped her.
They slipped her a date rape.
They raped her.
Hey, Jay-Z, the whole Baylor football team.
Man, I was just finna say. The whole Baylor football, the Minnesota
The
Vikings.
whole Baylor football team, bro.
But when you look at those situations, and like, right, you can get any girl could do that, right? But I'm not personally worried about going through the South being lynched by any black people,
Right.
because historically,
Right.
white people.
I mean, look at Karl Malone. On the other side of all of that, look at Karl Malone's situation.
Yeah,
He's 20 years old, getting ready to go to the league. He gets a 13-year-old pregnant.
yeah.
Her mama and daddy say, "You got a bright future ahead of you. We don't want no trouble for you.
That's
You're
right.
gonna be something." So it's on the hush hush.
Yep.
So
And he kept it
this
like
type of shenanigans happens on the regular in America on both sides of that quarter.
It
Both
definitely does.
And
But
to
see,
this-
the difference between what most black women who come into an encounter with someone who has stature, fame, or potential is they hurry. Most often, black girls, young women, will end up pregnant and push the seed of that potential off.
definitely.
And that's her capitalization
Oh yeah.
versus a white young woman who will then just claim rape. God forbid they produce a seed. You'll never hear about all the abortions they probably had
Right.
as a result of their encounters with potential.
Because the rape takes you out the game.
Absolutely.
The baby keeps that person in the game for 18 years or so. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We see that all the time. but,
Absolutely.
you know, hey, real quick.
Hell, look at Savannah herself. She got pregnant their senior year in high school. They wasn't married.
She saw the potential in his ass.
who's that?
Savannah is LeBron's
wife.
wife.
Oh,
And
she
the
was
fact
messing with
that
baby. They was babies.
and the fact that they still together, he still shows her so much love and respect. It's
Admiration.
for me, that is the type of relationship I would want for my son, because though Bronny has all this potential, he could go, God forbid, he could go play tomorrow and break his knee and be done. You want the chick that's gonna be with him regardless, because she loves him, she loves his soul, she loves the man he is, regardless to whether.
I see the girl that he was. Sorry, go ahead.
I
Keep
seen
going.
her.
Yeah,
She looked plastic.
She looked like she what?
She looked like she was part plastic or something.
That's what I was about to say. That girl right there is the one you will be like, why do you like her? Do you love her? She can stay? That girl looked like she got face jobs already.
Yeah, she was strictly for a show. But if we talking about Bronny,
her parents have money.
if we talking,
Her son who's Bronny in
If we-
a public school.
So wouldn't that show y'all that she's
if we talking about Bronny though, you gotta when you talk about Bronny, you talk about his potential, his future, and you go back to what was mentioned a moment ago about environments when it comes to dating or selecting who you gonna date. Look at the university he finna go to, USC. You got Calabasas, Beverly Hills, all of this right around this school. He's basically in his backyard. But at the same time,
I took my daughter to USC, and she felt the most out of place out of any school we had ever visited.
I bet.
Because she's a typical black girl, and she just did not fit in with that environment.
And at the same time, though, like I went to a HBCU, and across town was a predominantly white college, and you had dudes that went to school with me. I went to Wiley College, and you had guys that went to school with me dated only with the white girls from East Texas Baptist, which was across the town. You wouldn't see them on campus unless they was playing basketball.
That's cold blooded. They was like, fuck this shit. I'm
Right,
like,
I'm out.
hey,
I don't need no person. These goddamn bitches.
Hey,
Let
hey.
me go over here to them white girls.
hey, to wrap it up though, so let's check this out, right? Y'all, what do y'all say overall about the strong man?
Overall,
Raises
I
his
am
son.
in agreement with the title and topic at hand, which is that strong men are best suited to raise young sons.
As am I. I think strong men are suited, and for that case, I would say even strong women,
Oh yeah,
because strong women won't let their son do punk business. I'm gonna say that.
that's right. Only Jezebels do that.
Jezzy Bells, Jez Bell.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Je-
Don't
That
play
was-
with his name. Don't do
Damn.
it.
He said, "Hold on,
Hold
Warren.
on.
I'm
Don't
gonna have
play
to
with his name.
on that
yeah,
one."
yeah.
Damn.
What say y'all real quick before we sign off?
Think it's
I mean,
all
I agree with it, but also, like I said, you can be a strong father and still put the wrong trace upon your son. If your son see you as a strong man and you his role model, and he see you hit his mama every time you get mad or drunk,
That's not a strong man.
Mhm.
That
but
could
I'm
be
saying it's all in the mind of the child.
that could be a
It's what the child perceives. Just like with the children just like in the young man in your story, he walking around in heels and stuff. That's what that child sees. So he thinks that's right.
do a strong man
You know,
beat.
look at Dwayne Wade. Look at Dwayne Wade, little boy. I mean,
Well, let me
Creature.
say this, instead of beat women. Do a strong man.
Did you just call that child a creature?
That is somebody's baby.
Hey, I'm like Boosie. Don't cut the thing off. I'm like Boosie. Don't cut it off. But that child that grew up letting that child do that child grew up watching his daddy paint his toenails and fingernails and still go play basketball. So he grew up in limbo.
I feel like, but don't he have? Okay, that'll be a whole nother topic. But
I'm with you. I see where you're headed.
Right.
Experience. I see it.
Hey, experience. When
I'm
you come
with you
up,
on
it's
that.
your topic when you get here.
it's on me to pick a topic. Oh, wow. Okay, well, thanks for the heads up. Give me a chance to
You got a
think.
week.
You got a week. You got to tell us in 3 days, though.
Okay.
In 3 days, you good?
So we gonna be on June 1st.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Next
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yep, because
Yeah.
June 2nd is Friday. Yep.
Okay.
All right, that's peace. We're gonna get it on. Mr. Mitchell.
Well, once we establish what a strong man was, I'm in agreement with you guys on that's what it takes. But yeah, that's just is what it is. But hey, man, just one request, man. Y'all keep my family, man, in your thoughts and in your prayers. If you pray. I'm burying my big brother on Saturday, so
Oh, sorry to hear that, brother.
Condolences.
I appreciate
Condolences, praying for you.
Sorry to hear that, man. Man,
Yeah.
I think it's always tough when you bury somebody.
You know, it's even more tough when we've lost a sibling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
man,
it
brother.
almost brings the hurt back to me. And I'm sorry to have to see someone else deal with that same type of pain that I had to deal with, deal with, and losing a sibling.
Yeah, is that
It's
your
hard.
only brother?
No. But
Was that your only brother?
no, it's still 6 of us left. There was 8 of us total. But my 2 oldest passed away. My 2 oldest brothers have passed.
Man,
It's still 4 boys and 2 girls.
that's tough, man. I'm telling you.
I'm the youngest boy, so
Yeah, that's tough, man. Sorry to hear that,
Yeah.
though, man. For real.
yeah. I mean, even though he was sick for a minute, it still don't make it easy.
The thing about somebody going, man, is that you gotta. So I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna end it with me. For me, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna end this whole. Whatever I'm gonna say tonight. But we all, like, recently in recent times we started hearing about spirituality, right? And spirituality hasn't even come along that long ago. But when I talk about spirituality, right, like, I'm not a religious person. You know what I'm saying? I do what I
You're
do.
the same.
Right, but you think about spirituality. I hear a lot of people say they're spiritual, right? What I consider spirituality is you never letting your brother die, right? You letting your
Right.
energy travel through you mentally, right? So that as long as you or your kids or your grandkids or your great grandkids are living, that his energy will constantly go through every one of y'all, which will be his spirit, the spirit that he gave you, that he lived, that
Right.
lives on through you into others, and people can see that. You understand what I'm saying? And if you think about him, laugh about it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah, man. You know,
And tell
I got
people.
nothing but good memories, man. You know, we have a really close family, and we've always been really close. So you know, it's like it hurts, man. But I don't have no bad memories of my brothers. You know,
Yeah,
my
and
two brothers that are passed, I don't have any bad memories of them. We was
yeah,
never into it. We never had none of that. It was all love. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You keep that
So,
spirit. You keep that spirit traveling through you and traveling through your generations and through his kids or whoever else. And so that spirituality will never leave. Like we say, reality, spirituality. So that energy that you got, energy don't die. It just
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
transfer. And when you
Yeah,
transfer that energy from one to the next, that's when it's the constant life grows. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah. So that's what I always say. That's how I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna say peace with that one.
Well, I'm a very spiritual person, and
Yeah.
so I will keep you and your family in prayer. Prayer is what helped me get through my
Mm-hmm.
challenges with, and mentally I broke down quite a bit, but I did that solo. And so, what I can, I guess, offer as a bit of advice is to lean to your siblings in this time,
Oh
because
yeah.
y'all all are going to need each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And never let it go, man. I'm talking about like I always think of my brother, boy. I dream about him every night. Straight
Yeah,
up.
I dream of my brother often. I think about him daily. I wear him around my neck. I mean, this is his
Right.
initial. I whenever I touch this, I'm thinking about him. And it's odd because a lot of people don't know that, but like whenever I touch my necklace, it's because I just had a thought of him, which that
See
means
that
his
energy,
spirit,
the
his energy
energy
is still around me.
is still in you.
Right.
Through you, it's shooting through you. That spirit is always coming out of you.
Mhm.
What he do, what he did, you do.
Yep,
That's the way I see it when I think about spirituality. So I never let that die.
right.
So
Never.
August will be a year since my mom passed,
Mm.
and I had to figure out how to process that in the best way for me. And I agree with y'all. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious, but one of the things that has given me the first few months were really difficult, but what has given me a lot of peace now is I feel like, when you love somebody and you connected to somebody, their spirit is connected to you, which is why when they die, you feel so hurt because a piece of your spirit goes with them. So for me, the piece of my spirit, my mom's spirit that's still in me, the way I have been processing it is like a piece of you still lives in me. So now you go everywhere I go. I get to show you things that you've never seen before. You get to have experiences through me that you would have never had on your own. And it has served to empower me. It's the same way I feel about God in general. Like I feel like I am a manifestation of a piece of God. So God gets to experience things in this physical world through me that God can't experience through anybody else but me.
Mm.
So for the last few months, that has been giving me so much peace, and
Mhm.
it has been giving me so much empowerment to be able to share myself, to dream bigger, to want to do more, because now I know that every new thing I do, she gets to experience through me.
Mhm.
That piece that you said that she gave you, is what her time with you. That's the way I look at that. Every time that she had with you is a part of you. You know what I mean? So like maybe when she was at work, she wasn't with you. But when she was at home and she was taking you to school and she was feeding you and wiping your butt and doing all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? That was who she was with you. So that means she always gonna carry on with you too. You know what I mean? I don't know about the other stuff, but I know about that, you know, because you can't let that go. That's the one thing.
Got a whole lot.
Hear what, and I'm passing it on and on and on, and I'll never let that go because I still got my brother's voicemails, all his voicemails, and I play them. Me and my daughter, I play them, and she'll laugh. You know what I'm saying? Because she loved it. You know what I'm saying? It's so crazy. It's unbelievable. And I even play like my brother-in-law. He passed away on December 31st, 2019. 6 months to the day after my brother left. They both name was Mike too. But I still play his music. He got music on YouTube, and I'll still, because he was like the man up in Minnesota. He brought the rap scene to Minnesota. They gave him credit for bringing the rap scene to Minnesota way back 35 years ago or something. You know what I'm saying? And I'll still play his music too. So he's his energy that I got from him still lives.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, with that, I'm gonna say peace. Next week, the show is going to be hosted by The Experience. She'll be hosting the show. Hopefully, it'll be hot enough to do the backyard boogie. You know,
because today was chilly in old Milwaukee up here, y'all. I'm just gonna put that out there. It was kind of chilly. It wasn't no kind of. It was cold.
I had the hardest time packing for y'all crazy weather city.
Can y'all some of that down here to Texas?
Haha,
let's do an even.
It's 93 degrees in Houston. 89 now.
Yeah, take it.
Devonna Rogers was watching, and she was watching, and she didn't even chime in. You should have chimed in, Devonna. Hey, Experience.
Yeah, it's about the same up here, bro.
Experience. Could you bring us
Pops, I felt like I was picking cotton.
What is it right now?
Could you bring us something from now? Why?
What do you want?
Whatever you bring is gonna be all right with me.
No, bro. You got what moves you? What you thinking? What you feeling? Giving is not my love language, so I always.
It's 85 down here, bro.
Hey, you know you can do anything you want. You know what I'm saying? Bring me something.
You ain't helping.
Yeah, bring me something. Bring me something slick. Bring me a t-shirt from now. Why? Bring me a t-shirt. Anything like
what
that.
What size?
Tell something that say NY.
You gotta be something slick.
Okay.
Whatever it is, so I can wear it on the show and say The Experience gave me this.
Okay. I will find something.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
Get them a dream experience shirt.
Yeah. I would tell you to go down on 8th Ave and bring me a book. You know what I'm saying? Or stop by the school and bring me something up out of there. You know,
I'm in Brooklyn now, and I'm not uptown. But I see what I could find. They got it. They got all the things all over.
Everything. Hey, I'll make you bring me some food if it's necessary. You know, I don't eat no meat, but bring me some food up out of there. Bring me some rice and peas up.
I'll find something. It won't be food. I promise you, it won't be food.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? I'm gonna say this: New York they're gonna have more authentic spice bun and
everything.
All of that is gonna be more authentic than it is here. So if you decide to bring it, we're gonna decide to take it.
Got you. I will find something that works.
She trying to be my girlfriend. Yeah.
I think y'all would make a cute couple.
I learned the long distance thing don't work, man.
Hey,
you might learn something new when you come up here.
You lived in Milwaukee. You lived in Milwaukee before.
So ironically, my grandmother moved to Texas, and they trying to get me to take her house, but y'all winters is keeping me from it.
Wait, what part of Texas?
Jesus, shut. It's one of the suburbs of Dallas, though.
Ain't that Midlothian, Mr. Mitchell?
I don't know the name.
What?
What's Midlothian? What's that?
Midlothian
You
is
got Midland.
it's a suburb of Dallas. It's not far from Dallas.
That's
I'm
it.
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you, but yeah. So her house, they trying to get me to. I was like, I don't think so. I'm gonna see when I go up there what it's looking like, but I can't do them winters.
Where's her house at?
Shit. 25th and Capitol.
Oh, right down the street.
Yeah, right down the street. That ain't too far.
From who?
From
From you? Oh, from both of y'all? Oh, okay. So we gonna
Down the
be.
street. My mom's live on 42nd and I live on 73rd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's one shot. You know what I'm saying? 25th, I'm always down there.
and I actually just purchased a house right on Roosevelt and Olive, which is like,
No, you didn't.
yes,
It's
I
around
did.
the corner.
Right.
Roosevelt. She have another house right off Roosevelt and 35th.
Look at that. See? Come
Yeah.
on back to the neighborhood. We could be neighbors.
Girl, it's too damn cold up there.
The one that she got on 35th and Roosevelt, that's, Jen got the restaurant over there.
Oh, yeah?
Right on 35th. Jen got the old, remember that
It's-
Chinese guy used to do the food next to the laundry? I mean, next to the post office?
Yeah. Wait, I thought that was a breakfast spot now.
Jen's.
Oh, duh.
Jen
Yeah,
got
okay.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Oh, yeah, that's peace.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what that's looking like when I get up there, but I don't think I'm moving. I don't.
Well, that's
I don't
all.
think
Make it your winter home.
There you go. I went to home.
my summer home.
Won't be here in the summer.
Yeah, well,
Summer
you
home
know, they be cutting up here. The Kia boys done turned our city out
messed
in
up
the
the
summer.
Oh my gosh.
So if you ever missing some snow, you can come back here and,
Come on down for your crown. Hey, listen, we got to go.
All right.
We gonna be here. We're gonna do everything. We're gonna get it on when you get here.
I won't be on next week.
Why not?
Oh, you
My
gonna
nephew
miss?
graduating high school.
Oh, congrats.
At night?
Who go to high school? Who go to high school?
His nephew.
My nephew, he's gonna graduate.
Oh, that's peace.
So
Congrats to him.
Yeah, that's peace. Congratulations to nephew. All right, that's peace. Well, with that though, we're gonna
We'll
say
miss
we
you.
out. Mr. Mitchell, peace.
y'all be blessed.
The experience, Devonna, JJ, everybody, peace.
Peace.
We'll talk to you. Get that topic together.
I'll figure something out.
Peace.
All right.
All right, later, y'all.
Right.
All right, Pop.